Hello everybody and welcome to another one of Wednesday's vlogs. My name is Taylor Bluemel and today we're going to talk about my first experience shooting with a Pentax K1000. So first, I want to give you all a little bit of a backstory. When I started video production and photography, it was a couple years ago and I didn't start in film at all. And I kind of regret that. I didn't really know if people were still shooting film at that point. Everyone was just using DSLRs around me, so I kind of adopted the DSLR phase. But the problem with that is all of these modern cameras have all of these tools that don't necessarily teach you in the way that a film camera does. They have this electronic viewfinder, LCD screen, Wi-Fi capabilities, all of these things. And when you take a photo or a video, you have a really good idea of what it's gonna look like in post. Some cameras even let you apply in-body LUTs, so you even know what the color grade's gonna look like right there on the field. But with an old film camera, the only indicators you have of what your final image is gonna look like is the image itself reflecting onto the mirror and up through the eyepiece. And in that eyepiece, there's this little needle telling you how exposed you are. You don't know how shutter speed is going to affect your image or how the ASA is, besides your knowledge on how those affect the image. And you really don't know what the image looks like until you develop it and see for yourself. So I wanted to start doing photography on this because it really challenges you to think about exposure, and you also have to be selective about your shots. It's easy to go around town with your DSLR or your phone and just snap as many photos as you want. But when you only have 24 shots on a film roll, you start to get pretty selective about the shots. You also have to think more about composition. Developing in black and white's a lot easier than color. When you take the color out of the image, all of a sudden your composition is extremely important because you don't have this red rain jacket guiding you to the main focal point of the image. So I took this baby to the camera shop and they said I needed a partial overhaul. At some shutter speeds, the shutter wasn't even working, and they said I needed to expose about a stop above to get a properly exposed image. But the important part is that I could get some shots with it how it is. I could repair it right now, but it would take about 3 weeks, and I just want to get a roll of film developed. So I hurried home, grabbed the only film roll I had, which was some old expired Walmart film. I threw it in the camera, and then I headed downtown to get some shots. I got some shots that I think would have been really cool. I say would have because when I went and got the film developed, I got a call saying that the roll was blank and there were no images. And that could be caused by a couple of things. The camera might not have worked, but I mean, if I take the lens off right now and crank it and then fire, you can see the mirror lifts and the shutter went off. I can also see through the lens and the viewfinder, so I know that light is hitting the film. It could have been bad film, there could have been something wrong in the development process. There's a number of things that could have gone wrong. I'm a little disappointed because I did have some shots that I think were gonna be pretty cool. Not all 24 were gonna be amazing by any means, but there was one shot where this person was looking out the train window and I had a flare coming in and they were looking at their reflection in the window. And the expression on their face was just, but I don't have any shots to prove, so that's kind of a bummer. This week, I think I'm gonna go buy a brand new roll of film, go out and try and get some footage of me actually filming because I think that would be really cool. And if that roll doesn't turn out, then I'm gonna send it in and it's gonna be like 3 weeks until we even have another episode where I touch this camera, which I would be really bummed about. So if I could give you one message from this vlog and how this past week went, it would be to change things up. We all get set in our own ways and in our own processes. So like for me, going out and shooting on a camera that really makes me think about exposure and composition. I could go out with my normal camera or my phone and do the same thing, but this is going to force me to think in a whole different way. And when we challenge ourselves to do these new experiences and think in new ways, it just makes us become a better person and a better artist. Because photography isn't about falling into one process. It's about going and learning new techniques, new processes, and just changing the way you think, because it's all about your perspective. And if your perspective is staying the same, then you're not necessarily growing as an artist. So this week, I'm gonna go at it again. I'm gonna buy another roll of film and I'm going to develop some images, hopefully for next week. And let me know down in the comments below what you're gonna do to kind of change up your process and kind of keep things fresh.